Hi guys, welcome to a bit of a special video. Today I will show you how I made my Avicii I Could Be The One edit. Uh, so the first thing I started to make was I started to recreate the melody and chords of the original track. And then I pitched them up, I think it was 3 steps. And then I started to work on the intro. And the intro is very simple. It's basically just this bass line, the melody, a kick, and some percussion, and this crash. And for the melody, I added this low pass filter to kind of open up the synth pluck thing. This is like a great way that I like to start my tracks with, so everything doesn't like hit as hard directly in the track. And in the second part of the intro, I added this percussion loop just to make it a bit more groovy. I added some claps and a white noise. And the first verse is almost exactly like the second part of the intro, but I added this like hi-hat loop to keep the groove up, and I changed the rhythm of the chords to like more of an RP dreamy synth. And I thought that was cool. So, and of course I added the a cappella here. And yeah, that's like the whole intro and first verse. For the build up, I change almost like everything. First of all, I remove I remove the melody and just have the chords, this like dreamy chord rhythm. Then I added this moody slider bass, a piano with low pass filter, and then this pad thing, and then this sweep. And some other effects. And this ambient sample. So the build-up is very simple. It's just a bit of effects, a low-pass piano to build tension to the drop, and then the vocals, of course. Do you think about me when the crowd is and like as a pre-drop in the build-up, I added this like fast single note from the melody with the melody presets, which I think sounded very cool if you listen. You can almost not hear it, but it like builds up a tension in the background of the vocals. If you listen close, you hear that. Yeah, and the drop is also very simple. It's just like the main melody, this electric piano. Because of the melody is so like chill, you know, I didn't want to have like this hard kind of synths, so I mostly went for smooth chord sounds, like this electric piano, and this was the bass, and this smooth piano chord, and then these plucks. And yeah, this is the bass. It has 3 layers. This is the first, second, third. I think like I added this bass because I thought the sound was a bit too harsh. If you just listen to this, and I wanted it to be more like plucky in the background of the sound, so I added this and added some extra notes to make it stand out more in the mix. The bass line still sounds kind of harsh, but I think this softens it up a bit. And yeah, for drums, it's basically the same as like in the intro. It's this percussion loop, this tom, claps, white noise, and then for effects I have this crash and down sweep, and this white noise. I can show you the layers for the lead melody. I only use 3 sounds. I use this pluck preset, and then I have this like in a higher octave, and then just this whistler. Together everything sounds like this. You can almost not hear the whistling in the background, but it's there but very low, which I think gives a very smooth touch to the mix. And yeah, hi-hats come in like before the next part of the drop. And this hi-hat as well with some reverb. I usually don't put reverb on open hi-hats, but I thought it sounded very cool in the mix with some reverb. It gave it a bit more like, it made the track more like dreamy. And then I have chopped up the vocals here. I thought that sounded cool. And then I added this vocal effect. I have some reverb on them. And the second part of the drop, nothing really changes besides add some more loops. This is the loops I add. And then I add this arpeggio, which sound like this, which I think sound kind of cool in the whole mix. So yeah, the drop is very simple, and for like these automations is also very simple. This is for the master, so before the drop in the build-up, it's 2 dB lower, and that's because to make like the drop sound harder. And after the drop, we have this like breakdown. With the lead melody and like the main pluck synth with chorus and melody. And then we come into this part here with the vocals again. And yeah, it's also very simple. It's just a ride with an automation to make the volume go up. This pluck effect. This sweep. This Kashmir sweep, sweep 05. I use it in like every track because that's my favorite sweep. Okay, and yeah, the same bass, the same pluck chord melody thing, and then this moody slide bass again. And here I added a sweep and this. I love to make those kind of clap fills. I don't know why. I think they sound very cool. Coming into this part right here, and this is like a bit more energy. If you, this has more energy than this part because this has like more basses, sub basses, chord, and the kick drum. And I love those like chop ups of the main melody. I think they fill up like the track, this part of the track to not sound boring. It's like ear candy. So without them, I think the track wouldn't sound as good as it does, or specifically this part. Here it sounds kind of empty, but with this. And yeah, it's like basically the same drums, but besides add this loop. This is like almost everything for the breakdown because the drop, the build up and the drop is basically the same. The only difference in this build up is that instead of the vocals, I use the melody with a low pass filter. Just to give some variation, so it isn't always like the vocal playing here in the build up. It does play in like in the last part of the build up, but that's because like I don't know, I liked the feeling of it. I could be the one to set you free. So yeah, and the drop is the same as the first drop. Nothing really changes. And the outro is almost like, yeah, it's it's exactly like the first part of the intro. It's just a bass, the chord thing, and kick drum and percussions. And instead of the low pass like going to open up, it's closing here to like end the track. Yeah, and that's like everything for the breakdown. I can show you how I have like mixed the leads and stuff like that. Remember though, I'm not the best mixer and producer and everything like that. This is just how I make everything. So yeah, this is the bus for all the lead sounds. I used OTT, Camel Crusher, Saturn, EQ, another equalizer, some reverb with, and then the compression, and then use this for the low pass automations, and of course the sidechain, which is very important in EDM house music. So without all the effects, everything sounds like shit. It sounds like this. And with much more energy. I can show you how I mix the bass all this way. Oh, okay. The mix of the bass is very simple. It's just OTT, Camel Crusher, and equalizer to remove all the sub basses, sub frequencies to leave the sub bass, so the sub bass doesn't clash with like the mid bass stuff. So yeah, this is like my first video where I'm explaining how I produce stuff, and I'm not a great explainer. So if you have some like feedback or anything, how can make better explaining breakdown videos of tracks I have edit or my own original tracks, let me know.